What's up? Today I'm going to be showing you an old game called Billionaire. This game came out in 1973 from Parker Brothers and it is for 2 to 4 players. Parker Brothers' game of Global Enterprise consists of this game. The object of this game is you're going to be trying to become the first person to earn $1 billion, either by money and by the investments that you have. What you're going to be doing a lot of this game is based on just bidding on these different investments that show up. Sometimes you'll be bidding on 3 of them at a time. Other times you'll be bidding 1 of them at a time. You can also sabotage your opponents with power play cards, and there's a lot of different things going on in this game. I will show you how it works right now. Okay, everybody, welcome to the game. I'm going to go ahead and show you the components as always. Of course, here you have your game board, and there's a number of different spaces with different commands on them, and I'll talk about how those work here in just a minute. The main part of this game is going to be these investment cards over here, and there's 3 different ones. There's the Americas, there's Eurasia, and then there's Afro-Europa. There's a number of these spaces that's going to allow you to bid on one of these properties, or in some cases, all 3 of them at once. Right here you have your profit cards, and in the beginning of the game everybody's going to receive 5 of these, and there's different amounts. It can go up pretty high, and you're going to basically be using these as money. These are called power play cards, and these are cards that you can play on your opponent in order to try to screw them up a little bit. Here's a card that says Espionage. It's the steal lowest card of color group from any player. Here's another one that says Power Play, one called Disaster, one called Analyze an Investment, one called Security. There's a bunch of these, and there's 4 of these here in the shape of dollar bills, and each one of those players has what's called a headquarters, and it basically just coincides with the color of their pawn. So this would be yellow. Here is what is called the Analyzer. Throughout the game, you're going to have chances to analyze your opponent's investments. And again, I'll talk about how that works too. But essentially, if you land on a space that will allow you to analyze, and sometimes the power play cards will allow you to do the same thing, you'll just simply spin this little thing, and whatever combination of colors shows up will be the directions that you will follow. So, for example, if you roll the 2 reds, whatever investment you are analyzing from your opponent, you're going to take. And then you will just simply follow the directions for any other color combination. These here are your slate pads, and if you are a fan of the 70s, you'll definitely remember this. You'll simply write something on here, and then you can go ahead and erase it that way. You're going to basically be using these to bid on the different investments that show up. And the way that works is you'll write it down, and then everybody will reveal the number, and whoever has the highest number is going to win the investment. Now, the main thing that this game centers around is bidding on these different investments over here. And there's 2 different types. There's the sealed bids for the one of the investments, and then you have one that says sealed bids, 1 investment from 3 categories. So let's say I landed over here where it says sealed bids, and the Americas. I would go ahead and pick this card up and look at it. Now, this investment is worth $110 million. If I were to win this investment, this $110 million would go towards the $1 billion that I am trying to get to win the game. There's also a trading value on here. This can be used for cash if I need to. So if somewhere down the line I was bidding on an investment and I wanted to spend $20 million, but I only had $9 million of those profit cards, I would go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to use this as well, and that will give me my $20 million. So essentially the way this works with the sealed bids for 1 property is I'm going to go ahead and look at it, and then everybody is going to write down a bid. And again, everybody is going to go ahead and start with 5 profit cards. And let's just say these were the 5 profit cards that I had. And I can use these to go ahead and bid on the investments. And since I already know how much this is actually worth $11 million trading value, I already am going to know. So I can go ahead and write whatever I want. Let's say I wanted to go ahead and buy it. And let's just say I bid $15 million. I would simply write the amount on there, and then everybody else would write the amount on there. And let's just say I went ahead and I won it for $15 million. What I would do is I would go ahead and use these cards, this particular card here, and put $15 million and put this on the bottom of the profit deck and go ahead and purchase this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this face up in front of me so everybody can see it. Now, you cannot make change with these cards, so you just have to kind of watch what you bid, unless you want to go ahead and bid a little bit more. Now, if somebody else were to win this property, let's say somebody bid $20 million on it and they won it with that. In that case, I would get paid the $20 million since I'm the one who drew this, and then my opponent will go ahead and get this card. Now, with this one that says sealed bids, one investment from 3 categories, what is going to happen in this case is whoever lands on this is going to draw 1 card from each of these investments, and they are going to put them face down. They are not going to be allowed to look at these. So then in this case, everybody is going to go ahead and place a bid. And let's just say everybody bids, and I decide to bid, $30 million or something like that. And let's say I went ahead and I won it. Since I won, I'm going to go ahead and pay the $30 million to the person that drew these cards, and then I'm going to take them into my hand. So let's just say I won. Here's one for $90 million. Here's one for $70 million. Here's one for $200 million. So that's good. That's a lot of property right over there. And again, I would put the profit cards in the deck if I won the bid and picked up the 3 cards on my turn. Now, if you land on a profit space, you're going to basically pick a profit card from this deck and put it into your hand. The same works for the power play. If you land on this space, you'll pick up a power play card, and you'll be able to use the card on your turn. I believe you can only use 1 card at a time. Anytime you circle around and pass your investment space over here, you're going to receive 1 profit card. If you end up landing on your profit space, you're going to receive 2 profit cards. And more interestingly enough, if you land on somebody else's headquarters space, you're going to have the opportunity to use the analyzer. So the way it works is you're going to pick an investment lot and then put the lowest number up there. So let's say player 2 had 2 of these, one worth $70 million, which I have, and another one worth $100 million. I will be able to analyze the $70 million one, since that is the one that is the lowest. And then I will go ahead and simply spin this thing like so. And since I got the 2 red, I'm going to go ahead and take that investment into my pile and put it down like that. Now on my turn, if I have any power play cards, I'll go ahead and I can actually play one. So let's say I did this one. It says stake one of your investments against an opponent's investment of equal or less value. How roll wins both. Play on your turn. So these power play cards are mainly just used to basically try to sabotage your opponent and take some of his stuff. But of course, they can take stuff from you as well. And so what's going to happen is the game is going to keep on going around like this. And the person who ends up winning the game is going to be the one that has $1 billion using either a combination of the value from these investment cards and the profit cards that they have in their hand. So my thoughts on the game Billionaire. Well, Parker Brothers made a few games like this back in the 70s that kind of have a little bit of a similar theme as far as the mechanics go. Landslide is a game that comes to mind, and there's another game they made called Masterpiece, which is a pretty cool game. But basically, those games have a similar theme where you're bidding on things, and sometimes it's 3 things at a time, sometimes it's 1 thing at a time, and then there's ways you can sabotage your opponent and try to steal things and this, that, and the other thing. Billionaire plays like this. I would probably rank this game about a 5.3. This game does not blow me out of the water. I would say it's a little bit above average. The main strategy behind this game is deciding whether or not you want to bid on a certain thing or if you want to try to collect the money, because a lot of times what's going to happen is you're going to run low on money and you're going to have like a lot of investments, but there's other times where you're going to have a lot of money, and that can become important, especially if you land on one of those 3-in-1 type spaces. So a lot of this game is just kind of based on, do you want to try to save some money up to buy some things, or do you want to try to collect investments? Of course, you do have those power play cards that you can use to try to sabotage your opponent. And it's not hard to teach at all. The instructions are, 1 page on the back of the box somewhere. And, it's a pretty cool little game. But again, it really depends on your taste. Anyway, guys, that's my review. We'll see you later.